And we're back with some more oxygen not included on this series map. There's been some problems that's been pointed out to me, namely how warm it's getting around here. It's minus 19 degrees. I was not worried at that point. I thought anything up to 0 degrees would be good, but it turns out these plants don't like it if it goes above minus 14, and it's already minus 15 or minus 16 here. So we're about 2 degrees away there. Oh, about 4 degrees away there. It's just, if the temperature in here gets much warmer, we're going to have problems. Also, temperature overlay. We're going to go with relative temperature, and then what we can do is we can tweak this to maybe get a better idea of what's going on. Ooh, no, that's about there, let's say. You know what? Yeah, that's about right. Perfect. That gives us a little bit of a better idea of what's going on. Just lets us know that, say, this place here is quite warm at, oh my god, it's actually hit 0 degrees there. This place is pretty toasty as well, and I'm thinking a little bit of cooling through here would not go astray, which is where this giant pool of ethanol comes into play. I say we run some ethanol through a cooling loop through here, and then we have it pop out here to one of these areas which are all icy cold, either over here, over here, over here. Anywhere down here is also, anywhere where it's minus 40, I think we can run the ethanol through there and provide some chilling, especially to food and crops. So food and crop areas are going to get chilled. The rest of the base we might leave normal. But let me start putting in a piping system. That should be fine. We're just going to run piping, radiant piping through here to cool down the food. The rest of this piping is all granite. Then radiant piping right here for this crop. Radiant for here. Radiant for here. Radiant for here. For now, I'm just going to rotate it around in one loop. But we're going to have to sort of plummet through here to start bleeding some of the chill out and maybe put in some temperature shift plates. But for now, I just want to get it started so that we don't run into any crop issues. That would be bad. While this piping is going in, I've noticed something. This auto sleeper is pretty much constantly active. The reason being, this thing keeps having some of the oxalate off gas into oxygen, which is very normal. Unfortunately, it just keeps rotating back and forth a lot. So I'm thinking we'll put in a cycle sensor there and only turn it on for a small part of the day just to top up any oxalate that is burnt off. That should more than counteract that. That piping is just about done, except for the fact that I tried to put that through a room we can't access anymore, which is stupid, but that's okay. We can work around that. And once that's done, we'll have the cooling loop in place. Now we just got to fill it with some liquids. Now, I'm thinking this stuff is close by, and it's already, well, minus 50, minus 40 in places. Yeah, I say we use this stuff. We would prefer maybe to use this, but that's a little bit further away, and I want to fill this now. Also, I think we're going to put in some insulated tiles here. The heat from this is going to start spreading. We can tell because it started over here as well. Yeah, that relative temperature thing is actually quite handy. We can also see over here things are, well, they're super toasty. It's 40 degrees in here. We're going to have to move that liquid pump down here if we want to get any more chill going on. This metal refinery is going to be offline just for a little while we get this all sorted. And you are going. Perfect. That stuff's minus 40. Let's check temperature. That should be dragging down the temperature in there quite nicely. Excellent. Now we don't need to keep it... We don't need to dump temperature into the tiles. If we dump temperature into the tiles, it would help. But all we really need to do is make sure that the plants and the food stays frozen. That's it. Everything else is just a bonus. And I would prefer to, well, maybe husband our cold resources a little bit for now. Flatulent is just a straight no. Anemic is a straight no. Squeamish, can't do doctoring urns. Don't care. Quick learner but frostproof. Good at construction. No, we're going to hold out. We're going to hold out for good duplicants. That sounds mean to our current duplicants. We're going to hold out for duplicants with multiple skills. Alright, so that's going to fill up and go around, but while that's happening, we should probably expand this cooling loop out in here a little bit, just to take advantage of all of that natural chill that no one's doing anything with. Plus, you know, a little bit of excavation, get ourselves access to some new resources. What the hell? This thing up at the top left is starting to... Okay, approaching milestone. This colony is about to hit cycle 100. I assume that's why it's giving that weird pulsing noise. Right, you want to stop that? Cycle 100. Okay. So they've improved it on a few things. Well, added a few things that make it a little bit more obvious what's going on. Right, all these guys can get out here and... Oh, yeah, this means only certain diggers can get to there. I think you guys can dig in here. That's going to give us access to more sleet wheat. And then we're going to run a bunch of piping through here. How are we looking on that front over here for... Yep. That loop is filled and it's going all the way around. How's the temperature looking here? Minus 27. There we go. Much better. Minus 20, minus 29. The liquid in those pipes is okay, it's gone to minus 26 and it started at minus 47. So we've dumped some chill in, but I would like them to start absorbing chill from over here. Chill is just the absence of energy. So all we're doing is removing energy from the water. That comes up all the time. Some people will just say you're making chill, but nope, don't tell certain people that. Physicists go absolutely nuts. Piping is done. We spent a bunch of iron on it, but that's fine. We'll splice that on there, splice that off. Oh, yeah, I probably have to do something along those lines to make sure there's movement. There we go. Now this stuff coming in here is minus 22 degrees. In fact, yeah, it's minus 22 pretty much all the way around. We'll let it run through these pipes and see how it goes. This won't provide us infinite cooling. There's definitely a limited amount of cooling in this area, but we can always extend the pipes on, put in more radiant pipes as we go. And this should be it. Now this is going to be pumping on some nice cold ethanol to fill up the loop. But once this is finished, how are you looking? You're down to minus 34, 35. Yeah, if we can keep you at minus 30. We just want to sort of drag some areas down in temperature. So long as they stay below minus 25, I'd be quite happy. And yeah, this stuff's coming at minus 34 on its first rotation. It should definitely get colder as we go as well. Well, its first rotation through, it's at its warmest point coming in, so it'll be a little bit cooler hopefully on the next rotation and cooler again. Oh, God, it's actually dragged up the temperature here immediately. Maybe we should put in some ice plates. You know what? No. Nope. That's enough of that. We've managed to get this sorted. Once this has... Yeah, loop's filled, I believe. Yeah, the loop is done. What we can do is disconnect this. We don't want that liquid bridge there anymore. And then we're going to start doing stage 2. Stage 2 is we want to make sure that we've got more ethanol coming in because this stuff is going to run out after a while. We're down to, what, 450 kilos? It's about 600 when I started this episode. So, yeah, I think... this stuff here has to be pumped in, which means we're going to need to get power to it, which means probably running a wire from up here. Yeah, that seems to actually, we'll run it through there. Excellent. That will get us that pump working. Then that pump is going to have to provide us plumbing. Plumbing-wise, I'm thinking, yeah, generally granite is fine. Yeah, we got plenty of granite around the place. Now, what we want with this is going to be a little bit different. We need to bring this in here to fill up this tank. We also want to make sure that we have some reserves for this area over here, and we need to bring it all the way over here to top up this tank. So this needs to make a lot of journeys, and we're probably going to need to put even more ethanol in it as time goes by. So let me figure out where exactly the piping is going to run, because this is going to be a complicated mess. I would just like to point out, the dupes are being very productive. Like, everyone's out here working or bringing resources. It's because we've automated so much of this stuff that they do have time for all of these projects. This is normally what gets people at this stage of the game, is starting to do these projects that are further away from your core base takes so long that you just end up running out of other resources that you need. So automating as much as you can so that you have to your duplicants have more free time to do those nice building projects, that's what wins you this. Well, makes it easier. And how are we looking on temperatures? Yep, those things are nice and chill. Crop areas are looking... Ooh, you're minus 18? Come on. What's the oxygen? Yeah, the oxygen in the area is about minus 19. It'll do, I suppose. My bad. I never put in radiant pipes over there. Radiant pipes right there, please. And done. I think that's the only places that need them. This here is almost finished. What we're doing is we're going to splice ethanol on in between the two tanks. So this here, so long as it's full, we'll keep dumping ethanol in. And then, once this pool runs out, any ethanol coming in from here will be able to hop onto the line and fill up this tank. So we should always have 5 tons in reserve, but it won't draw on this tank down here until this goes empty. In fact, let's plug this in now. That pipe system is not complete, is it? Or the power wires are not complete. Once the power wires are complete, that'll start. Then I think for filling up this over here, I think we're going to come in through here, or about this section. We can chop most of this out, and I might want to maybe redo our little gas section over here. I mean, this thing's pretty weak sauce. Minor change in plan, but I think you'll agree it kind of works. It's ugly, but we have this plug into here. Half of the flow, at least, will go this direction. And then it's going to come all the way across here. And then when it gets to this point, half of it will flow down, half of it will flow on. And this half that flows down will start topping up this liquid tank, which provides the petroleum to this, or provides the ethanol to this petroleum generator that provides most of the power to our core base. No, all of the power to our core base. Now we've put in a little automation sensor here. If once the liquid gets to up here, it'll shut off once it hits 100 kilos of pressure at this height. And then over here, this will continue on, and this goes up here and starts filling this tank. Once this tank is full, though, it'll stop. So that gives us power for this section for our metal refinery. As well as that, we've stuck down a carved lumen quartz here because it gives off light, and this can be used to provide lighting for people working the metal refinery. Now, the water down here is pretty toasty. Thinking what we might do is start spending this polluted water we've been holding in reserve. We have a whole bunch of this stuff here, so why not burn it off in the metal refinery? So instead of pumping the stuff up from the bottom, we're going to sever that line there. We're going to start getting it from here. We're just going to run some basic piping up, dump the polluted water in there, and we're finished. And why is that ladder not going all the way down? How did I mess that up? You know what? Doesn't make a difference. We'll get that fixed. And over here, this metal refinery does have 800 kilos of water in it, but it's salt water. I think we'll just do a couple of batches of iron to get rid of that. You see, we want to start making steel. That'll become more obvious in a minute, but if we check heat here, this will raise the temperature of the contained salt water by 57.1 degrees. Actually, this might work. So we have 40 and 57. Perfect. We can actually get a couple of batches through there. In that case, we're going to go straight for iron to steel. Now, the reason we want iron to steel is it was pointed out to me in one of the comments. It's like, they don't want to see another petroleum boiler. They've seen loads of petroleum boilers. Try some new stuff. And we're going to try the geothermal heat pump. We're going to give that a go instead. And that made a lot of sense. It's like, yeah, we know how petroleum boilers work, and we could definitely set one up, assuming we can find some magma, which I could have sworn there was magma over here. Oh no. Is there a leak? There's probably a leak in the magma biome somewhere. We should go down and sort that out really soon. Okay, we'll sort that out in a minute. For now, we're going to go over here and quickly get this set up so that we can start producing steel. To do that, though, we're going to need to get our hands on lime. The reason we need the steel is down here, this geothermal generator. The moment you try and repair it, you reconnect the heat pumps, it gives you this task. This task is 1,200 kilos of steel. We need to make that steel. So, all we got to do is get our hands on some lime. Get our hands on some lime, we'll go over to the rock crusher, and we're going to go eggshells to lime. We have 163 kilos of eggshells lying around the place, which is 163 kilos of lime. Coal-wise, that could actually be a little bit trickier for refined carbon. We actually have 3 tons of coal. I think we got that out of the gate. People were asking how I was getting offered some things like hatches and coal and stuff out of the gate, even though we haven't discovered those. They're limited to time, as in the number of cycles that pass, some creatures will become available in some materials. Or, if you discover them first, then they will immediately be unlocked, but there's certain things that are time limited, like, I want to say pips. Pips are time limited as well. So it doesn't matter what map you're on, you will eventually get offered certain things just to make sure that the game is fully playable no matter how you start and what's available on your map. Alright, over here. We're going to set this to hold lime. We are going to set this over here to hold coal. And then once the coal is in, wherever that is, where's the errands? It's on the way. Someone will bring over the coal in a bit. Once the coal is filled up in there, we'll start making ourselves a whole bunch of refined carbon. We're probably going to turn all that coal into refined carbon. Oh, wood to refined carbon. What? Okay, that's new. That is definitely new. In that case, let's get some wood over here as well. We have plenty of wood. We've got like, what, 40 tons of this? 75 tons of wood. That makes things so much easier. What's the conversion ratio on that? 100 kgs of wood makes 50 kgs of refined carbon. It's not as efficient as coal, but we do have an awful lot more of it. So, we got enough wood in there. We can just set this to wood to refined carbon. Give me 20 batches of that, actually. Yeah, 20 batches. Then the auto sweeper can fill it up. Doesn't actually require any duplicate labor, so long as you have something to actually sweep it in. And done. We've set up 12 tons of steel to be finished, and now what we probably want to do is get a bit of digging done. I would like to get down over here and make sure there's no breaches. That's the hydrogen gas. For a second I thought that was, sour gas. That would have been more uncomfortable. How are we going to get in here without messing things up too badly? Like, that's a nice pool of water I would like to not destroy. Oh. We could flood this area. We don't really care about the wood. We've got plenty of wood already, so the loss of some arbor trees would not be a big deal. Yeah, I think we push that out of the way and we dig in sideways into this section. By shifting all of that stuff out of the way, we can now sort of dig in here, and I'm not even going to put in a liquid lock. I used to put in liquid locks all the time to try and keep temperature differentials the same, but we really don't mind that much. This place is... well, it's already toasty, as you can see down here, and it's only going to get toastier as we get in. So, yeah, don't really care. There's plenty of map to absorb the heat. across here, we can dig straight across. I'm thinking, oof. Yeah, we'll keep it pretty low down. We'll keep it small, we'll narrow, we'll dig straight across there. We'll chuck in some of those to make sure that we can make it. And I need to see what's going on with this magma over here. I really, really hope there's not a breach, because if there's a breach, this could become much, much more complicated than we'd like. We also need to get down here to that vent, and have we got the steel done? Steel 1,200 kilos, thank you kindly. In that case, well, we can reconnect the heat pump, but we have to operate the geothermal power plant and clear blocked geo vents. So we need to get access to these geo vents, and then I'm not sure what we do with them. You know what? Let's try reconnecting the heat pumps. That's going to create that task to deliver 1,200 kilos of steel. Someone will get on that. In the meantime, we're going to dig across here. Oh, there comes 1,200 kgs of steel all at once. And is that it? Geothermal heat pump is ready to receive materials? What? Success. My duplicants have restored the plumbing system for the geothermal heat pump. We can now use this building to pump liquids out to the connected geo vents. Constructing steam turbines at the venting sites will enable us to convert the resulting steam into power. The vents also emit various byproducts. I'm sure you can find a use for them. Okay. But where does the liquids go in is the question. Like, how do we pump it into them? Oh. What the... There it is. It just took a second. So, geothermal heat pump. That means there's 3 inputs. And I'm going to imagine there's 3 outputs. 1, 2, and 3. One of them which is blocked, of course. So we can probably extract this out and strap a steam turbine or 3 to the top of it. Maybe 4, depending on... Ooh. Damn it. There's also something to... Okay, so if we pump water into this, it'll come out hotter. We just don't know exactly what, how, when, where, and a bunch of other stuff, but a little bit of experimentation, and I'm sure we can come up with a power supply. When it comes to the magma over here, it turns out it was just around this little special point of interest building, so we don't need to worry about that. However, this magma in here, or that should be magma, is not, so I'm kind of a little concerned about that, but we'll do more digging and we'll find out. What concerns me more now is, what is this vent? Is it something we're going to want to use, because it's right beside this geo vent, which would make things confusing. And you are... Another saltwater geyser. Great. Is that 3 saltwaters? Okay, so that's 1 over there. 2. And 3. Right. That's incredibly lucky or unlucky, whatever way you want to look at it. Alright, I think we're going to want to come in here at the bottom. The reason being, germs. We have sporkids around the place. So we can't break in here because we'd give atmosphere to that sporkid, and that would become a problem. Actually, you know what? This one I'll destroy... by diagonal building, but this one here, I might just pop in and kill it normally, as in dig it up. It seems like most of the atmosphere is gone, but the moment we put some atmosphere back in there, it will cause problems, but I think we can sort this out. You see, when it comes to taking care of these spore kids, what you kind of want to do is keep them out of atmosphere. If any slicksters are around, they've usually drained all the carbon dioxide in the area, like say here. There's no atmosphere left, so the spore kids have shut down. And that means all of the spore kid germs they gave off have been safely sealed away in the oil that the slicksters have turned it into. So all we have to do now is just make sure that they never get in the atmosphere. So we either flood them or dig them out diagonally. So what we want to do here is drop this oil down. And if we can say dig that out, that will cause that oil to flood in there, swamp the spore kid. Spore kid can't do anything else. Then we can dig it up, and then we can diagonally start getting rid of this sucker. Actually, we can start diagonally squishing it up. What we want to do is squash all that carbon dioxide so it doesn't become a problem. This is usually how it goes down in the oil biome. Stuff like this, you end up doing a fair chunk. Then what we'll do is we'll dig across the top here and do that again, and we can dig in from the bottom in a second. And oh, would you look at that? Done. Drowning. Perfect. Then we'll just go down a bit more. And now we can take care of this sucker by just doing some smart diagonal building here and there. You see, what we can do here is dig that out. Actually, that would probably be a simpler way of doing things. And then we can dig this out, and then... place a brick there, and slowly but surely we can squish all the gases into one corner and destroy them, while simultaneously we've just dug up the spore kid, making it a non-threat. And then you continue until it's all gone. I think we may have accidentally made this oil about to explode. It's fine. We're probably find a use for that oil anyway. We'll just deconstruct some of these, get these out of the way. We'll soon have this completely gone. Yep, it popped. It's grand. More oil, the better. We'll find a use for that oil one way or the other. If we need it to, we can actually use it to keep our power supplies running for just a little bit longer as well. How's our ethanol looking at the moment? Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting how deep down we are. Yeah, we got plenty of ethanol. We're fine. And there it is. All of it just walled into one corner. We have 2 million zombie spore germs in there. And once that brick goes in, there'll be nothing left. Phil Best's on his way to do it. And once he's got that done, we can start digging in here. We'll have to diagonally destroy these as well. If we can come in this diagonally, we can destroy that spore kid. And yeah, we come in below that one as well. We can destroy that spore kid. And none of them will get any germs off. Easy peasy. Alright, so we have to do a reconnect here. That should reconnect that to this thing. I'm just curious if it makes any changes to the liquid inputs. Yeah, we'll find out. I might have to do a little bit of light reading up on this to make sure I get it right. I don't want to mess this up. We're going to go up here, take out that spore kit, then we're going to grab that second spore kit, and then this area can be just completely demolished. Reconnected? Ready. Oh, and you can disconnect it again if you want. Okay, so I can't mess this up. I could always undo stuff I've already done. Now, my understanding is we put liquid in here. That liquid comes out 150 degrees hotter. So I'm thinking 3 steam turbines on top of this might not be a bad idea. We might want to put in a good liquid lock, though, as well to go with it. I think we're also going to want to excavate these fossil fragments. As far as I'm aware, this gives us a whole bunch of fossil which we can turn into lime. And lime gives us lots of steel, and steel is amazing. Here comes our master artist now, Frederick Hartman, and how much is that? That's 2 tons of fossil. Problem is all this stuff is really hot. I don't want to smash up the fossil inside our base. We're going to have to make an external base to smash up all that fossil. Well, that's going to have to wait. Oh, and down here, I think we can do that. Might want to put a little bit of a ladder system over there. Just to make sure we've got this whole area clean. And we're going to need to process some of this oil to make plastic, though I have been advised to go up to the space biome first. So once we've got this area cleared, but we haven't hooked up the geovent just yet, I think we've got a bit of time on the power front, I think it's time we started digging upwards and seeing what space it has in store for us. Well, 2 things we've discovered. One, there's a hot polluted oxygen vent here. We don't care about it. There's an actually ancient specimen thing over here, which we can use to dig up a whole bunch of fossils and stuff, but we don't need those just yet, but we will get back to them. And we have also found a biobot builder where we can build biobots using steel and zombie spores. I'm not sure how much I want to build biobots that are fueled by zombie spores. That seems like a terrible idea, so we'll probably have to give it a go at some point. At first I thought, why not just demolish it and keep going through with our ladder system, but nope. We're going to try and use some of the weirder stuff on this build, so let's just keep going for a bit longer. The size of this map is, yeah, you keep forgetting how big these maps are. I know they've got the traditional start on the Spaced Out DLC, but it's just, is it as big? It feels like these are just so much bigger, these maps. Alright, we've found our way through to bourbon trees and spigot seals. I've been warned about these a few times, but basically the bourbon trees, they grow branches. Those branches synthesize light or to produce nectar. You produce 1800 lux. But yeah, these things are never going to actually grow, are they? Like, how are their branches supposed to grow when they just don't get any light on them? Yeah, I don't think... I mean, maybe if you've got a lot of shine bugs in one spot, might be an idea for making shine bugs. But for now, we're going to... Ooh. These guys, that's actually space, right? Yeah, that's space because there's going to be light coming from the sky. Yep, there's sunshine. Right, I don't think we want to go up quite that high. Ooh. Might give an idea for glass. We could use glass to wall them in. I would like pips as well to plant them. What's their comfortable temperature ranges? Minus 15 to minus 75. Okay, never mind. That's, yeah, the pips I don't think can survive down that low. We'll see. We'll have to get our hands on a pip, though, to find out. Looking here, we've got these trees up top, and they appear to have 2 things you can harvest. One is nectar. And nectar, it seems here, a natural, lightly concentrated solution of sucrose. Properties plastic monomer liquid. We should be able to turn this into plastic. This saves us having to refine oil. Not that it really matters. We've got plenty of, oil down the bottom. But I say we give it a go. I'm trying to put in a quick liquid lock here. We're going to fill the liquid lock with ethanol because, well, it's pretty cold up here. Reason being, there's mercury. This is solid mercury. The stuff froze. Which, interesting, it freezes at minus 38 degrees, and this entire biome is basically full of lots of frozen mercury. That's just a little bit odd. It'll be fine, though. It'll be fine. We'll just dump some ethanol in here real quick. We have put together an ethanol liquid lock. It was pretty quick and easy to do. Now we're going to harvest this thing and get nectar. Okay. That's weird. So how much... Oh, and it regenerates quite quickly, too. In that case, let's just go over here real quick, and we're going to start harvesting all of these things. We're plowing through here, and we're just, well, excavating everything we can to get all of these trees growing. And in fact, I might want to grab those as... Ooh, I wonder, is that going to crush that thing? I don't think we have a choice. I think this is all, yeah, crushed ice and stuff. Okay, there goes the tree. Oops. Hey, it's fine. This tree down here can do some... And you can't get out, can you? Yep. We'll grab that. There you go. Perfect. And then across here we have a lot of trees. Like, just so many of them. Time to start enabling auto-harvest on all of them. Oh. It just started raining ice. I think it's time we cut back on the stuff. This can all go. Oh, all of you can go. Perfect. Now we just have to... Damn it! That nectar's not going to get lost up there. I've been looking at this nectar, and this stuff is super interesting. Thing is, it's got the same thermal conduct, or same specific heat capacity as water, 4.1. I think it's 4.17 for water. Yeah, 4.17 for water itself. So nectar is just about has as much thermal capacity, meaning it'd be really good for heating and cooling stuff, or putting through a thermal aquatuner. However, its freezing point goes down to minus 64, or is it minus 82? Meaning you can get stuff to way colder temperatures than water, and its vaporization point is 160, meaning you can get it to way hotter temperatures than water, meaning it can go either direction. As well as that, it turns out this nectar stuff, yeah, it basically turns into steam and sucrose if you heat it up too much, and it turns into ice and sucrose if you cool it down too much. It's just a really good temperature regulator, coolant type thing, coolant heater, whatever you want, and could also be used for oil, but I don't think I want to use it for oil. The reason I don't want to use it for oil is, well, you don't get a lot of it. We have plenty of oil, or don't use it to make plastic. You could make plastic out of it, but that seems like a waste. The nectar is just, well, so good as a coolant and stuff that it feels like it would be just wrong to do it that way. You're better off saving the stuff and using it as some sort of coolant in a aquatuner, stuff like that. Whereas the crude oil down here, I think we're going to use that to make our plastic. And once we've got that, we're going to see about pumping liquid in here and seeing what happens to over this. Depends how much liquid it takes or how this functions. This little setup is, well, its only purpose is really to produce some plastic and, okay, some petroleum for later. What we're going to do here is run this into the oil refinery. The oil refinery will turn 10 kgs of oil into 5 kgs of petroleum. We'll burn some of that petroleum to make sure we have power in this area, and then the rest of it will go down to the polymer press to get turned into plastic. And once we've got about 200 kilos, we can make a steam turbine. We're probably going to want about a ton or two of plastic. Now, to get this whole thing jump-started, what we've done is we've put in a wood burner. The wood burner only gives 300 watts, which means it'll just about be able to support that liquid pump, but that's it. But I've got a smart battery here. So what I kind of want to do is get the oil up to here, and once the oil goes as far as this thing, we can start refining it, at which point it gets turned into petroleum, which goes into the petroleum generator, and then the petroleum generator will kick in. It'll dump polluted water everywhere, but we don't care. That'll flow off the edge. And now someone needs to come along to this refinery and start working it. Yep. Now we're not even going to bother with automation. All we want to do is get ourselves just enough petroleum. There we go. So you can be disabled. We can deconstruct that. And, oh. Oh. Disable building? Yeah, I forgot to hook that up with automation, didn't I? That is incredibly sloppy. We've just burned a butt ton of oil for no reason. Just no reason at all. Anyone want to turn that off real quick? And done. So, enable building. We'll make that one an emergency as well. Seriously? It's an emergency, guys. Come on. Done. And plastic has already started. We're up to 30 kilos, and we'll just let that keep going. Nice. We're already up to 510 kilos of plastic, which reminds me I should add that to permanent. Yeah, let's make sure that's shown at all times. Then that will sort us out there for getting a few steam turbines down. In fact, power-wise, give me 3 steam turbines, and let's make it a lead. It doesn't really matter what you make them out of. All that matters is that you keep them cool. And damn it, I've done that off by one tile, haven't I? Right, we can move this slightly. Well, that's as good as it's going to get for now. We've got a liquid lock in here. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen here, and I kind of want to research it, but on the other hand, I don't. I kind of want to see what happens. So what I want to do is start pumping liquid into here. We might need to have all three of these active for it to work, but so far it's not telling me that. Insufficient materials. So all I have to do is put materials in, which I presume is liquid. We have a bunch of water here. We have the geothermal heat pump right there. And why, oh why am I being this dumb? Just do it that way. That would actually be far simpler, wouldn't it? And we can cancel all of that piping right there. Still going to need the conductive wire, though. Yeah, done. Right, water is moving. I'm going to stick it into the leftmost one and see what happens. I don't know if you have to fill all three. What are you saying? Pressure. 0.7, 0.8, liquid temperature 34. Okay. 34.2. That's basically what this stuff is down here pretty much. Okay. Nothing happening on this side. However, it is ready, and we do have to clear a blocked geovent, which is this one down there, which seems to be located in an awkward position. We're going to dig through to that next. I just want to see if we can use this to generate power now, or if we have to wait until we get all three of them up and running. This is going to take a while. 10%? Right, we'll cut back in when it gets a little bit closer to the 100% mark. Right, it's almost done, and I think I know why there's three inputs on this. To speed this along, this takes ages. I suppose if you have three liquid pumps pumping it in, this thing will get up to pressure faster, unless it just takes a warm-up. Okay, 100%. Attention required. Okay, the average temperature is this. The initial input temperature determines the type of materials emitted. Pressure 100%. When pressure reaches 12 tons, this building's contents will be heated and pumped out to connected geovents. Current pressure 12 tons of 12 tons. So, activate power plant? Cutscene. What? What's going on? Why are you shooting my walls? It's not... Okay, it's fine. Now the question is how much steam actually comes out. We'll be able to figure that out. We'll just wait until it's finished emitting. We're not going to put it through the steam turbines just yet. Oh, you. No, nope, 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 no more. That's enough of that. You can have the last of that water, but no more. There's 12 tons put in. Let's see how much we get out and what else. There was a bunch of random junk that got spit out there. I'll have to check the footage. But not going to worry about it. For now, I'm going to start moving this oil in here. What I like to do is pick a sort of height. So this is going to be the maximum height or the maximum depth of anywhere through here. And then what I do is I just force all the oil to one side by building stuff. Instead of making pumps everywhere, I just pump it using pump it by putting in bricks and forcing the oil all to one side. Oh, you can see it here. 10 tons remaining. I waited until all of the steam vented, and this here is about 123 tiles. Well, it's actually 124 tiles in total. There's 60 there, another 42 there, and another 12 there, and well, it looks like there's 10. It's actually 9 because one of those tiles is carbon dioxide. But taking all of those tiles, they average about 96 kgs of steam a tile, which means we have 11,808 kilos of water came back out. So we put in 12 tons, and then we got back out 11,800. So there's like 200 kgs lost somewhere along the way. That's nothing. Also, if I ran this thing using this 3 steam turbines, it'd just take about, I think it was 3.2 days for the steam turbines to drain all of the steam out of the room. I think we can put about 10 steam turbines on top of this. Now, I'm not sure how fast this thing can vent it. It might take us 2 days, so I need to do a bunch of experimenting in the background. I don't know if we need like 5 turbines here and then another 5 on top of this one. Or maybe like it increased. No, it shouldn't increase more. I think it should even it out, evenly distributed between them. So if we evenly distribute it between them, we should be able to cram more steam turbines on, or we could just use this one with more. I need to do a bunch of experimentation on a test map to figure out what's the best way to utilize this. Because what we want to do is get all this water and then immediately pump it right back in pretty much. And then fill it up again, activate it, and then, dump in more steam. In fact, we'll probably want to tap into... Actually, where is it? There's a saltwater geyser over here, the saltwater geyser over here, and there was a third saltwater geyser, I think, down here somewhere. I think we're going to want to get all of those, untap them, and then that they had put at 90°C. We're going to dump all of that in here and get out clean water and salt. This is perfect. We're going to be able to run our entire base on this. Actually, as it is now, we could just run our entire base on these three here. And each one of those give us 850 watts. Well, maybe not this first run through because, well, it's not 200 degrees. Oh my god, we don't even have to water it down. You know what? No. I need to do a whole bunch of experimentation before we do something proper with this. Like, right, I don't want to half-ass this one. As for up here, we've actually got our hands on a whole bunch of this nectar. We've got 800 kilos of it, so I'm thinking we put ourselves together at a little industrial brick down here, and we're going to use it to chill everything. Well, okay, we'll do a little industrial brick, but then we'll use the nectar in an aqua tuner combined with a steam turbine to cool this entire base down to like minus 30, minus 40 on average. Oh, and don't worry about these guys down here. These guys can survive up until, I think it's 0 degrees. So even if it gets a little bit warm down here, these things are just... Whoa, why are you guys? Relative temperature, please. There we go. Yeah, so here it's like minus 13 and stuff, but these plants are holding out just fine. And you notice over here, minus 26, minus 26, minus 26. Our little cooling loop has done wonders, and all of our food over here is nicely chilled. I've started using the fridge because I was hoping this would, sterile atmosphere, fresh, deep frozen. They take up less space. Someone mentioned it, and I thought, you know what? They're right. But we had so much space, I was lazy about it. But yeah, thinking over here, we put in an industrial sauna, and the power we can use to run it can come from the geothermal vent down the bottom. And what is that? Oh, yeah, the excavation things for fossil. But for now, I'm going to cut this out here. Next up, I am going to do a bunch of testing on the side and then come back with a good build to strap to the top of these, either using 1, 2, or 3 of them, depending on which one we find out is the most efficient. But that, we'll have to wait for the next episode. So I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.